Hi. I didn't know that me waving at the camera would turn it on, but apparently it does. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am Safo-Orah. I use he, they pronouns, and today's video is called Yapping because I'm a yapper. And I wanted to make this video because I was at work and I was thinking, and I was just like, what am I gonna post? And then I think about how I consume a lot of like podcast media and how I like to watch people talk or listen to people talk. And I just thought that I should do the same just for a moment and give myself space to think about what I want to talk about. And I pulled up some notes, or like I wrote some things or some topics down that I would like to talk about. Not that they're like crazy or like anything, but just to start somewhere. And I think, to be honest, this is going to be a series. And so welcome to Yapper, or Yapping because I'm a yapper. And if someone has already claimed this title, they didn't, because I'm claiming it right now. And yeah, yeah, so I pulled down this painting or this piece that I made a little bit lower, so it's not just a white background that you're seeing. But in the future, there'll be more that I will add to this wall. Maybe you'll get a room tour, maybe you won't, who knows. But yeah, so I guess I'll start with work. First of all, I'm in my muumuu because I had to get comfortable, and this is imported from Nigeria. You can't get this on. You can't can't get this on Amazon. No shade. But yeah, that's no shade. But work. Okay. So work. There's not. This is what I'm looking at. You can't see it. There's nothing on this screen. Like there is, but there's nothing like substantial that's like crazy. That I'm not reading a script basically. But work. So for the most part of the summer, currently it's August 14th. It's Thursday. It's currently 7:13, and for the most part of the summer, up until like 2 weeks ago, I was unemployed and I didn't have a job. I love my room for the shadows. Look at that. Anyways, I was unemployed, and at first, I'm gonna close this for a second. At first, I thought it was like crazy because I felt like it was like weird. I thought it was kind of like, I thought I was gonna come into summer and find a job and just be working and making money all summer. God had other plans, and I'm grateful for their plans because I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much as I thought I would have. There's another door that's open, one second. But you know, we end school. School ended May 11th, maybe, I want to say, or either May 11th or 16th or the 18th, one of those days. And May 11th came. Me and my roommates, currently my current roommates and friends, they're both. We signed our lease to this current apartment May 1st, and like I said, school ended May like 11th or something like that. So during that time, we're moving from point A to point B, but also before that time, I'm stressed out. This is background. So from there, so school ended in May. So there's basically May, June, July. So there's 3 months while I am basically unemployed, because even for my work study job, my like manager was like being very condescending and transphobic. So I knew that wasn't something that was going to continue on for the summer as it did for the winter when I was working in the winter time. Anyways, moving on. So I thought like, oh, I'm just going to apply to a bunch of these places, apply to the places that my friends currently work at, see if I can get a job there. It wasn't working. I was stressed out, but also I was like, I had to figure out what my space was going to look like. I didn't have a bed for like the first week just because I was like, I want to figure out what my space is going to look like. I don't want to just buy things out of necessity and just have the things that I needed, but not that I desired or wanted or that fit my style. Anyways, so and during that time, as you saw, if you watch my videos, which maybe like 2 people consistently watches my videos, I feel like either if there's more than like 10 people, maybe there's people that already follow me, or maybe it's just like randomly from people's like algorithm. I don't know how important this is, but yeah. So then during that time in June, I just kind of like read, which I'll talk about what I read, And in July, I traveled. I went to Ireland, which I made a video about, and that was super fun and really refreshing. I talked about that as well on my experience going there. And then it was like towards the end of July, and I called my dad because I was like, I needed help with my rent because I didn't have it because I already, that was like 3 months of me paying rent from like savings, right? So for this month, I didn't have it. And he's just like, yeah, you should just pray to God and this, that, and the third. And I did. But I also remember like posting like this clip of me like on Indeed on my YouTube, right? And so, anyways, I did. And he helped me. He sent me the money that I needed for my rent. And then maybe like a week later, if so, I got an interview. And to me, this is me. This is what I think. This might sound bizarre, but I think my dad did some kind of magic. I don't know what he did because I was telling him how I was depressed and this, that, and the third. And I swear he did something. He did something and it helped. And I also did something, obviously applying for the job. But like somehow it just worked out. And so I'm super grateful to be able to have him to help me out, but then also to help me out in a different way, so that it's not just like he's giving me this thing. It's like he's basically like, you know how they're like, oh, you can catch a fish for someone, but it's better to teach them how to fish. And he taught me how to fish, and I'm fishing and I'm making money. But anyways, I've been working for the last 2 weeks, and it's been very new because it's my first time in a retail job. And I was just thinking to myself about how I'm super grateful that I'm 20 years old and this is my first experience with it, because if I had experienced this earlier, I swear it would have killed my joy. It's not even like it's like this, it's not like it's horrible, it's like the worst thing ever. It's just like, as a creator and as a creative, like I could just see myself just like getting looped in that, especially if I didn't have school, which I love school, by the way. I could just see that narrative or that reality of just going to work and making money and then buying like maybe whatever my money can afford that's beyond rent and groceries, that maybe makes me feel a little bit luxurious. But that would literally be it. Like that would be it. You know what I mean? And I just think about that, and I just think, and I'm so grateful that is not my reality, because that would have killed me. You wouldn't even see me here. I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be sitting in front of you right now, honestly, if that was my reality. So I'm so grateful for my life experience and how things work out for me, basically, is what I'm saying. I'm super grateful for that. And I'm also super grateful for this job. I don't want to have this type of job forever. I would rather have this job where I'm sitting by myself in my space, talking to myself on my device, but knowing that it's going to reach other people on their own, like in their own time and space, on their own device, whenever it wants to. So yeah, that was my life update. And today, like I said, is August 14th. School starts in 11 days. So I'm super excited. I'm a fucking nerd, G. I really am. Like, I don't know what people I don't understand. Like, it's a good place to be. School is a good place to be. Anyways, so that's that. Okay, moving on from that. This is currently 10 minutes in. Who knows how long this will be? I don't want it to be too long. But that was my first yap session of the session of yapping. Next, basically that was out of order. Media I'm currently consuming. I see this YouTuber on my feed sometimes, and she's like, I don't know, she has like a pixie cut, she's light skinned, and oh, I want to show you this. Look at that. Oh, you can't see, it's better this way. I worked on this, I think, last night. Dude, this is why I talked about work for fucking 10 minutes. Yesterday, I had to wake up at fucking 4 a.m. because I had a 6 to 2:30 shift. And one of my trainer was like, oh, it's not, like the 6 a.m. shift is like, goes by fast. In what world does 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. go by fast when you're doing work? I just want to know what world. It's clearly not the same one we're living in. But anyways, it's not that bad, but it's just like, dude, like, what? It's crazy. But anyways, what was I saying? So yeah, she talks about what she consumes, and I never clicked on the video because sometimes I feel like watching the title is enough watching for me. And you might feel the same, to be honest, if you ever not clicked on the video, if you didn't click on the video, potentially, or maybe before you click on the video, you felt like you know what's going on, and you probably do. But yeah. So currently, I'm watching Scandal, and let's see what season I'm on. I'm on. One second. Okay, let me show you my wallpaper because it's kind of sick. That's the like inside the house. Before you enter the house, that's what it looks like. But yeah, anyways. I'm on. That's Archer. I haven't watched Archer in so long. I'm on season 4, episode 4. Lord. I know because I watch my videos because I make the videos that I'm watching. But when I watched Game of Thrones, I was so enthralled with everything that was happening in the show. And I feel the same about this, but it's just kind of different because obviously the context is different. And Lord, Jesus fucking Christ, this show is crazy. And Fitz and fucking Olivia couldn't be even, like, they're so agonizingly annoying. They're so annoying. And I don't know why, I just don't understand, dude. Like, stand up. Stand up, walk, and open the door and fucking leave. And close the fucking door, please. Lock it. Like, literally lock it. Nobody wants to go in. There's nothing in there. It's an empty void space. So yeah, I watched Scandal. I'm watching Scandal, and it's a very interesting experience for my psyche, because I feel like sometimes watching media is like how I understand other things that are happening in the world, or like how people move and certain things happen. I started reading this book called Rabbits by Terry something, and I know it's a good book, but I haven't like really like indulged. I haven't like indulged in sitting there and reading the book. My neighbors are fucking banging, and I don't even know. It doesn't matter. And what else? What else have I been? Music. I've been consuming music. I found this artist called Tricky. Somebody posted a thing on TikTok about like their favorite albums or something. I tried to listen to like maybe 3 of them because there's like maybe 10, and that one stuck, and I fucking love her. I think they're like my new favorite like artist right now. And it reminds me of when I found Little Dragon and how I was like obsessed, and how they kind of like taught me about like good morale and like having like good like perspective on situations, and like just moving about the world with a like kind heart. And like, but this one is like different. Like I feel like this is like my villainous era type of music of like I was her, or I am her, and but it feels good, but it also sounds good, and it makes me feel good that I feel this way, because it makes me feel like I'm alive and I'm real, and how I think is real, and actually affect how I act and what I am. So I really enjoy that. I've been listening to Sade, obviously. If you watch my last video, I've also been listening to Stormzy. I've been listening to Amare, Tyla, the new like EP that she dropped. Maybe a bit of dancehall music too, and what else? What else have I been listening to? I don't know. Nothing too crazy though. And yeah, so that's what I've been watching, consuming. Trying to think if there's anything else. No. TikTok? Okay, what else? What else is on the list? That's basically honestly it. Oh, no. So that's what I've been listening to. I've watched Creed 1 and 2. I feel like Creed is a really good movie to watch if you are bored and you're thinking of a movie to watch, because you might find it entertaining, and there's other movies under the movie that you can watch because it's a trilogy. But it wasn't boring. But I did find myself like sometimes getting out of it, where it's like, why like, because I realized that, not to spoil anything, but I realized that like basically both movies so far is cut in half. There's a prompt, and we go do the prompt. That's literally it. It's like, okay, this is the prompt. First half of the movie is introducing what the prompt is. Second half of the movie is just doing the prompt. And maybe in other movies it's that, but it's never been so blatant before. And so that's what I noticed. And then what else? I mentioned books. Oh my god, wait. So basically, before, no, it's right here. Before I was reading Light, Ian Walmsley, Light, a very short introduction, and I finished this book like 2 months ago, honestly, and Lord, it's still running through my brain actually. And sometimes I think also like The Shadow, like that's when I realized that, okay, like I've read this book and like it helps me understand like other things. But yeah, I really enjoyed that book. It was a really sweet read. I need to return it because they're like, it's $100 late fee fine, that is. I actually got an email this morning. And then I started reading this one called Death by the Black Hole and Other Cosmic Quandaries. But like, it's smart. It's hard. It's tough. Information trap. That's the chapter 4 where I stopped, because clearly it's a trap. And so yeah, as I was walking home one day, there was a book thing and I got this book. And I've also learned that maybe I need to talk at a quicker pace, but I've also learned that I started to really enjoy nonfiction a bit more than I do fiction. This is another book that I'm currently reading abstractly. This is not happening all in. This is not even happening currently. It's happening, well, time is not linear. But it's called, what is it called? Octavia's Brood, Science Fiction Stories from Social Justice Movements, edited by Andrini Marie Brown and Walida Imariza. I'm not the best with names, I'm not gonna lie to you. But this I got from school for free. It was actually supposed to be a novelist, but I stole it, so. But I gave Anola a book ticket, so if they wanted it, they could have gotten it. But I wasn't doing that. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, nonfiction over fiction. When I started to read nonfiction, I think with the Light book, it started to make me realize what fiction is really based on, which is nonfiction. And I realized that nonfiction basically just gives you the pure essence of what fiction covers up or like alludes to. Fiction is just an artistic ways of transcribing what is real and making it surreal and making you dive into this immersive world, which is brilliant. And obviously there are people that know how to do it so well. But when you realize that at the end of the day, it's maybe just a fraction of like reality when it comes to like storytelling, where it's like, this is one perspective, one story about 2 people, maybe if it's a romance book, maybe 5 people if it's like a mystery book. You know, it's never really like a whole worldwide perspective or worldwide view on like how this information can actually help you think about not just your relationship to a potential romantic partner or like a potential whatever, but just your relationship to everyone you're interacting with. And I found that like fiction or like nonfiction help me understand that aspect of reality of like, oh, like this is not just for this scenario, but this can actually be applicable to like real life other scenarios and all the other things. And I think when I was listening to The Art of Seduction, how John Green, he would use a lot of like historical references to explain why. I don't know when that stopped working, so hopefully it made sense when it cut off. But I have 1 more minute because my phone is dying. Or I have no storage. But yeah, so I've been into nonfiction. And yeah, I'm gonna, I don't know how important this is, but yeah, so that's why I've been into nonfiction. But I do enjoy a good fictional story. I've been also reading a lot of manga online. It's really just porn, to be honest. So, doing that as well, too, to be honest. And what was I gonna say? My phone is gonna stop me from talking. But, oh, the housewarming. There's gonna be a housewarming video that I'm gonna film. I'm gonna record that while we're doing that. And so you're gonna see that. But now that I've done this, I feel like I understand how I want it to feel like for the future. But anyways, thank you for listening to me talk about absolutely fucking nothing for maybe 30 minutes. And if you like this, suggest what I should talk about. What does interest you? As I sit on my sofa couch beanbag thing in my room at a corner. Thank you. This has been great. No, this is amazing. Thank you so much for listening. And support by shopping at my Etsy and liking, commenting, subscribe, suggesting, liking, sharing if you'd like. Whatever you'd like to do. Simply watching. Speak to your phone. Okay, there's one more thing I wanted to say before I leave this video. I need to stop saying that I don't get views because I feel like that's my trap. That's where I get myself, where it's like I magically think something's gonna happen with me saying that when I'm saying that. So I do get views. People watch me. I watch me. I'm valuable. I am entertainable. Is that a word? But you know what I mean? Like, I need to stop saying that. I need to get that out of my head. And I was sort of talking to my cousin about that today because he called me during my lunch break. And this is switch up from angles, and I was telling him about how I kind of got comfortable just having, like, there's videos on my channel that has, like, 2 views or something like that. But no, we're moving past that. And I'm welcoming more eyes that are not evil eye, but curious. And I'm welcoming that. And yeah, more engagement. Because I can't get comfortable being small. Because I'm not small. So yeah, I need to stop saying that. And that will be the last. I'll put this before I put the final clip. But there's also an angle change, which I don't really like that much. But, you know. But yeah, just wanted to say that. That's it. Bye-bye.